Hello students, let us continue to study the chapter on diversity in living organisms. So in the previous classes, we have learned about how the different living forms are diverse in nature and we have a multitude of life forms which vary in size, color, the number of years they live. Then we also saw the hierarchy of classification. We saw that how they have been classified into different groups. So today we will learn about Whitaker's classification of the five kingdoms. We'll take the first kingdom, that is Monera. So here the organisms do not have well-defined nucleus or organelles, nor any of them show multicellular body design. So we know that the Monerans are prokaryotes. Hence, they do not have a well-defined nucleus, nor do they have some cell organelles. Also, they do not have a well-defined body structure. Okay. On the other hand, they show diversity based on many other characteristics. Some of them have cell walls, while some do not. We know the prominent feature of cell walls is seen in case of plants. Of course, having or not having a cell wall has different effect on the body design here from having or not having a cell wall in multicellular organisms. So here we know that these organisms are unicellular and the difference of having or not having a cell wall will be different. Next, we see the mode of nutrition of the organisms in this group can either by synthesizing their own food, that is, they can be autotrophic, or getting it from the environment, that is, heterotrophic. So there are some examples, which is bacteria, cyanobacteria, blue-green algae, and mycoplasma. Let us go to the next kingdom, which is Protista. Now here they are also unicellular, but here they are eukaryotic organisms. That is, they will have a well-defined nucleus. Okay. Now, some of the organisms will use some appendages. Appendages are some extensions. So some organisms will use hair-like cilia. So here in Paramecium we can see the side to move. They will make use of this cilia and whip-like flagella. The example is in Euglena, they use this flagellum in order to. Now, their mode of nutrition can be autotrophic or heterotrophic, same as the monerans. The examples are algae, diatoms, and protozoans. Even other examples are Paramecium, amoeba, Euglena. Here there is algae, diatoms, and the protozoan. Go to the next kingdom, that is fungi. So they are heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms. So here directly their mode of nutrition is given that they do not prepare their own food. They synthesize from others, that is they are heterotrophic and eukaryotic, that is they have a well-defined nucleus. Now, some of them use decaying organic material as food and therefore are called saprophite. They depend on dead and decaying matter. Because of that, they are called as saprotrophs. Then others require a living protoplasm of a host organism for food. So not all are saprotrophs. Others will depend on some host so that they can keep on digging and eating the food from that organisms. They do not synthesize their own food, but they are taking the food from that particular organisms, and therefore they are called as parasites. When they are living on dead and decaying matter, they are called as saprophytes, and when they are hosting on some other organisms for food, they are called as parasites. point to be noted that none of the fungi, the organisms, will prepare their own food because they are heterotrophic in nature. And many of them have the capacity to become multicellular organisms at certain stages in their lives. So they also have a cell wall which is made up of a tough complex sugar called chitin. So the examples are yeast, molds, and mushrooms. So they have a tough sugar. They're a very complex sugar. So which we call it as chitin. So this is their cell wall. Now, these fungal species live in permanent, mutually dependent relationships with the blue-green algae. And the blue-green algae are the monerans, that is, they are the cyanobacteria. So, because they're living in a relationship with them, they are called as symbiotic. So, this symbiotic life forms are called as lichens. Now, we have seen lichens. They are slow-growing organisms which are colored patches on the bark of the tree. So usually you can see green color patches on the bark of the tree. That is nothing but the lichens, the symbiotic relationship with the blue-gray algae. So these were the examples of fungi. That is yeast, agaricus, lichens here which I told you, the bark of the tree, then aspergillus and penicillium. Now we go to the fourth kingdom, that is the kingdom Plantae. Here they are multicellular eukaryotes with cell walls. Eukaryotes means again we know they have a nucleus system and they also have a cell wall. And they are autotrophs. Autotrophs means they make their own food and use chlorophyll for photosynthesis. So they will prepare food by the process of photosynthesis. Thus, all the plants are included in this group. Since plants and animals are most visible forms of the diversity of life around us, we will look at the subgroups in this category later. So we will learn more about the kingdom Plantae in the coming classes. Then we go to the last kingdom, that is the fifth kingdom, that is Animalia. So these include all organisms which are multicellular eukaryotes without cell walls. So in Plantae, they had cell walls. In Animalia, they do not have cell walls. And they are heterotrophic. Here they were autotrophic. Again, we will look their subgroups a little later in section 7.5. So we will learn more about the kingdom Plantae and Animalia in the next class. So today we learned about the 5 kingdoms proposed by Whittaker, that is Monera, Protista, fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Thank you, students.